Literally, all gas and no brains.
Hey, guys, we soon gonna check out this recent episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Shortly before we have Money in the Bank that's coming around the corner, we'll go to review everything that happened on the show. Much more here at the Red Carpet Ring. Let's get into it.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
All right, guys, we're here to talk about WWE SmackDown before Money in the Bank. We're going to talk about it. We're going to go over the review. Let's go over the show shower. Let's check in. All right, we had Solo and his group come out to the ring after Seth Rollins. He opened SmackDown with Braun and Bronson Reed. Now, we saw that there was tension between Jacob and Solo. Now, Seth Rollins, he mentioned that, and he said to Jacob, are you going to be Solo's little bitch, pretty much? And that's what he was saying. And Solo said, he told Seth, like, you got your little bloodline thing going on, which is interesting because that's exactly what Seth doing. Everything Seth Rollins said he didn't like, that's what he's become. All right, next part of the show here, we had Jimmy Uso. He opened up SmackDown with JC. They had a match. It was a good back and forth, but we saw Solo. He was being funny at ringside, and we saw Jacob Fatu. The turning point in this particular match is where it looked like we saw Jacob Fatu stand at Jimmy Uso at ringside, and Jimmy bumped JC into Jacob. Jacob was hot about it, and Jimmy Uso defeated JC, and that was a big whole catastrophe, big thing between Jacob and JC. They don't trust each other. Now, next part here, we had the Hearst service. We had it was called Bakersfield type of style match that was in California. This was Piper Niven against the Women's United States Champion, Zelina Vega. Now, it seemed like they had the numbers advantage against Zelina Vega. However, Zelina Vega, she came back, and she had a little assist from Giulia, as it looked like Piper was going to get the win. But it ended up, Zelina did that cold red off the top rope onto the table, and it caused Zelina Vega to get the pinfall victory and also, still tall. But that was before Giulia attacked her when she raised her hand in the air with the Women's United States Championship. So that definitely is going to be an interesting one, because Giulia is coming for that Women's United States belt, and it's going to come down to her, Zelina Vega, at some given point in time. But it was not a bad match at all. But we know that Zelina Vega is going to be fighting champion, whether the title's on the line or not. So that was a good way to end that particular match. But will be more to come with Zelina and Giulia. Let's get on to the next part. All right, now we got the 6-woman tag. All the participants in the women's Money in the Bank match. Naomi, you had her, Giulia, Roxanne Perez on one side. Then we had Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vaquer, and Alexa Bliss. This was a good solid match. Good back and forth, good offense from both teams. But the turn point came when Roxanne really needed help, and Naomi was supposed to tag her, and Naomi left Roxanne high and dry. I don't know why they keep doing Roxanne like that. Giulia doing... It seemed like they must make Roxanne a babyface. Who go figure? But that caused the team of Rhea, Stephanie, and Alexa get the pinfall victory. And, of course, the babyface women in the match they got the pinfall over the heels. But it was a good, solid match. And we know Stephanie and Rhea, I've been watching those two. They've been standing each other since Raw this week. Those two going to have a match at some given point. But that was pretty much the end of that match and how that's going down. Can't wait to how Money in the Bank is going to end at the end of the day. Let's move on to the next part of the show, shall we? Now, we had here a one-on-one match, LA Knight versus Aleister Black. Now, Aleister Black, he cut a good promo right before the match talking about LA Knight, how he cost him the match of going to Money in the Bank. And I know shortly before the match started, LA Knight responded saying, I didn't turn on you or nothing. It's just the name of the game. Every man for himself. And that's exactly what happened in the match. Now, Aleister Black, he hit the Black Mass kick on Shinsuke, but it was LA Knight who got the pinfall victory and is in the match. But these two had a good back and forth match. It could have went either way. Could have went Aleister Black or LA Knight way, but it didn't. Now, when Seth Rollins was mentioned, also how he was mentioned by LA Knight. LA Knight mentioned how he was in a match, he was going to stomp his head into the ground and all that stuff, and how he's going to handle him. However, that's how the match ended disqualification. We saw Seth Rollins, he curb stomped. He did the stomp on LA Knight. And we also saw how Aleister Black did stare down with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, they've been wrecking house literally all night, taking down all the opponents as much possible when it comes down to the Money in the Bank ladder match. He's taking out everybody, but this is going to be interesting to see how this is going to be set up at Money in the Bank, because everybody going to come for Seth. But let's get to the last part of the show, shall we? All right, the last part of the show, we had final face-off between the tag team match for Money in the Bank, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, and of course John Cena, the WWE champion, last real champion, and Logan Paul. Now, after some trade backs and some insults back and forth, we saw that instead of Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes getting the advantage of attacking John Cena and Logan Paul, it was Logan Paul and John Cena actually got the advantage. We saw John Cena put an AA on both Jey and Cody. We also saw Logan Paul do his finisher on Cody Rhodes, and he also did the splash on both Jey and Cody. And the last thing we saw, the last image on SmackDown, was both Cody and Jey being on the ground, and we saw John Cena and Logan Paul holding the world title and WWE title in the air. Now let's go over key moments that happened for Friday Night SmackDown this week. Stuff that's going to predictions that are going to happen now in the future. I talked about this before. Giulia and Zelina Vega is going to start a program, and it's going to be over the Women's United States Champion. Now, for the Zelina Vega fans, I got my apologies. I'm going to say to you right now, I think this feud is going to eventually end with Giulia winning the Women's United States Champion. She has the perfect persona, foreign heel. So I think that's how they're going to end that. But a good story nonetheless. Another thing for key moments, Seth Rollins stomping LA Knight and others in the Money in the Bank match. I think at some point it's going to come back to cost Seth and company. I know Seth got Big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and Seth has a lot of momentum since winning WrestleMania 41. He may not win Money in the Bank match. If he does so happen to win, he don't need it. He could lose contract later on the match. Now, also, we had both GMs of Raw and SmackDown, Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce. They came to make the announcement that the King and Queen of the Ring tournament will be returning. That's going to come back, and they're going to start the tournament on Raw and SmackDown. And, of course, we will have the final winner of King and Queen of the Ring to be crowned at this year's Night of Champions. King and Queen of the Ring will not be a PLE. It will be a tournament. Night of Champions will return and take that spot back. Now, I have my reservations about this King and Queen of the Ring tournament, but I get it. It's to help set up for SummerSlam. So whoever wins King and Queen of the Ring, just like last year, of their respective brand, they will go for whatever championship that has for that brand. They'll be number one contender, and they'll fight for that championship, whether it's the world title or Raw, or the women's world title on Raw, or the WWE Championship on SmackDown, or the Women's Championship on SmackDown. So that's a key moment. Also, we saw a stare down. We saw the whole Jacob Fatu being mentioned by Seth Rollins. This is setting up Jacob Fatu become a huge babyface. We saw how Solo was talking about him behind his back, and Jacob overheard it. You know, the old Batista, Triple H Evolution storyline. And we could see somewhere down the line a future match between Jacob Fatu and Braun Breaker, because they both the future. They both had held on to Jacob, United States champion, now Braun Breaker, former Intercontinental champion. And we kind of could see that happening with both of these men. They both have it. I mean, Braun Breaker, the dog, you know, Jacob Fatu, Samoan Werewolf. These guys are going to eventually have a match. And it could be a WrestleMania in the future, because they both future main eventers. I can tell you that right now. The company's behind both of these men. Whether you like Jacob or Braun, or don't like either one of them or not, these men are poised to be the future main eventers of the company. Seth is right now. Solo not going to be a main eventer. It's going to be these two. And also, the key moment is, of course, at the end of the show, Logan Paul and John Cena holding the titles in the air. Now, I did my prediction on this. I said what's going to happen with the John Cena and Logan Paul teaming up with each other. I'm saying this because whether you like Logan Paul or not, he is a mega superstar. He is a name. He could be a future world champion. I'm going to call it right now. Logan Paul, future world champion. Think about it. He's faced off against Roman Reigns when he was champion in his third match. Last year, Cody Rhodes, and he just fought for the world title against Jey Uso at Saturday Night's Main Event. Logan Paul's a future world champion. I'm just going to call it. That's how it is. Now, my rating for SmackDown, amazing show, 5 out of 5. I like every aspect of the show and the build, the storyline, everything. Everything's set in place with Money in the Bank. And you know, after Money in the Bank, we have this whole King and Queen of the Ring tournament and Night of Champions. And also we have the 2-night SummerSlam this year. But other than that, I think it's going to be a great setup. And we're going to see what's going to happen in Money in the Bank, 4 matches. And that's all I have for WWE SmackDown before Money in the Bank. You guys let me know what you think of this SmackDown, before the go-home show before Money in the Bank as we prepare for that. We also have NXT AAA Worlds Collide. Check out the content here. Click the video below for a red carpet rain. Until then, guys, you already know what it is at this point. It's OUT.